Hey guys, it's me, Caleb Delarosa again. Doing this at work, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit more quiet, just to be polite to my other coworkers. Um, so to start with the reading reaction, 5.1, the Dark Side Overview. One of the most surprising things I found on when reading it is the whole lying section where people lie at the initiation of the relationship just to build the common barriers and grounds between each individuals, and that's how they meet and kind of have that connection is sometimes through the lying process. And then that really surprised me that a lot of people do that. I guess it's more common than what most people would realize. Just in a reading, it kind of stating that a lot of people do that in the initiation process of the relationship, so we can have those connections, have those emotionals, and have those experiences shared to build the strength in the relationship. But when it's all lies, I mean, is there really a strength to the relationship? So I could definitely, that constitutes the dark side. And then going off of that, it kind of talks about the sexual and emotional cheating, people hooking up or talking infidelity, and how it's destructive and wrong. And, that's very, that's right, but people in many cultures are considering cheating as different things. It's developing new definitions. Um, because were you really together at the time? Is that cheating if you're really together or not? There's just different meanings and values behind the word cheating now, and it's definitely changed its cultural view. Going into 5.2, the discussion of teens, tech, temptation, and troubles. The section I found most troubling was the texting pushes the mute button on emotional nuances. An example of Mike and Nora. Um, it really surprised me that it is kind of true. At the same point, texting, you can just kind of say what you want to say and not have to worry about saying it out loud or anything like that. And you can push the envelope and push, the emotional buttons on people and situations, and just kind of, be like, oh, I did over texting, so I don't really care. I'm not there in front of the person. I would never do this in person, but I'm going to do it over texting. This really is kind of surprising to me that people are like that. And how she's saying, oh, I want you to be my boyfriend before anything. I have to be in a relationship, and the individual is just saying, let's hook up, and kind of things like that. And it really is terrible. And it's a characteristic that's common nowadays with teens and their technology behind them. I mean, people have unlimited conversations. They can just send emojis to give the people that you're happy or sad over that. I mean, you can never really tell the true emotion over somebody over texting. Going into reading 5.3, the trends of unwanted online experiences, the one that really surprised me was number 4. Almost half, 40% of online harassment episodes occurred in the presence of a bystander, someone trying to help stop the situation, some making it worse. It's absolutely insane to me that 40% of people sit there and either watch it, join in it, or try and stop it. And I'm going to guess the latter, stopping it. I mean, 10 to 25% actively reach out to help. Everybody else either joins in or is just watching, and that's absolutely unacceptable. I mean, that's bizarre that somebody would actually just sit there and watch someone get bullied or join in on bullying them. I think that's insane. It's unacceptable, and in our society, people join in on it, and I've seen it, happen before where I was reading something online and it just says, oh, look at these people making fun of this guy because he did something silly or something not smart, and they just harass the person, and it's just unacceptable. I mean, no one deserves that kind of cruelty and punishment. I mean, for being, making a simple mistake or being, maybe not as intelligent. And I think that's an unacceptable thing to do. So, I mean, it really surprised me that 40%. That just blew me away. Going to the next 5.4, the dark side of social networking. Um, One of the things that just kind of surprised me is just the whole lack of, kind of like what we've talked previously with people not wanting to be fully out there, like the privacy that people have, hiding who they really are, a perceived lack of control over them, over the situation. They don't want people seeing who they really are, so they put so much privacy that you can't really see photos, you can't find out who a person really is, or they kind of put fake information out there about themselves because they have their privacy so up, and they don't want people to be able to really see who they are or see what they can kind of do. So um, that really just something, the dark side of social networking that I just really, when I read that, it kind of stood out to me most is just, the whole privacy issue and the lack of control that people have with it. I mean, they really want to be all over, and people are blaming Facebook for the trends in social comparing, people comparing one another to each other. I mean, people are blaming Facebook for that, and I don't see uh, a reason why we shouldn't blame them. I mean, we can compare people so much on there and socially, and it's just unacceptable. I feel like I'm being really negative today. I don't know why. Just everything is unacceptable or really bad. So I need to get a lighter reaction to some of these, I guess. For the next reading, 5.5, cyberbullying, the hidden side of college students. This is a huge thing. I know college students pick on each other really bad, and people like to try and compare IQs, or they like to debate political things over their Facebooks, and then it gets into a huge controversial issue or a hot button subject. And when reading this, I mean, it's true. I mean, they say, in the current studies and everything, people really do, or I'm trying to find the exact section that I was reading. Um, Relation between bullying and cyberbullying, in the sense that victims of bullying are more likely to victims of cyberbullying. Studies associate between normal beliefs and face-to-face aggravated. Um, it's just kind of, when you're reading through that part, it just kind of tells you that people face-to-face have the aggression and everything, but over cyberbullying, which is huge in college networking, because I mean, people avoid the face-to-face majority of the time, but uh, in college, cyberbullying is so huge. I mean, people really push each other's buttons on hot topic issues, and it leads to more drastic measures. Sometimes, someone gaining depression or anxiety from the situation, and it really affects them for a long term, instead of, bullying, which still can affect them a long time, but sometimes it leads to a physical altercation, and then it's resolved after that, which is not positive. I mean, sometimes that's what it comes down to, but with being online bullying, there's sometimes you don't have that physical altercation. It's something that could damage or hurt the person for life and leave them scarred. And then going into the last topic, 5.6, social networking sites or social surveillance sites. This was really interesting. I mean, I really, um, it makes me nervous when I read it, that these social networking sites are supposed to be us to come and share with people, meet with people, stay in touch with family who doesn't live close, stay in touch with friends who have moved or anything like that. And it's supposed to, there's so many good benefits to it, but it's also used as a social surveillance site. People can watch us, people can see what we're doing. I mean, I've heard of so many examples of people posting, oh, I'm going on a road trip, and all of a sudden their house is broken into and everything's stolen, because people sort of spy on it. And it's not even, some people say, oh, the government, that's who's the one spying on us, but it's so many people. It can be government, people, and you can, sorry about that, it's just the intercom. There are so many people that can just say, um, post something on there, and then the public can see it and react to it and go off of that. So there's so much surveillance, people can put on you, and people can watch you, and um, it's kind of terrifying and kind of weird to think about at the same time, just that the good things of it can be outweighed by the fact that you can be watched so easily. So that's um, kind of what I had to think on the whole surveillance thing. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.